family run resorts in the area. Well, you missed the height. I mean, back in the day, there were a good dozen or more.
Miss Melbourne, can you mute your mic, please?
Can you mute your mic? It's just so hard to compete with that.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
All right, are there any questions before we begin the lecture? Any questions before we begin the lecture?
Question, sir. You finished marking the papers?
No, I'm still marking. It's a very big class, 47 students.
Oh, and we're seeing you for the first time.
Oh, this is the first time you're seeing me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I should have, well, that's bad. That's really bad. All right, so I'm still marking the papers. I try to get up early in the mornings and mark, and then I have the other group that did theirs last night. So now I have almost 100 papers to mark. It's a lot of marking. Any other question or comments relating to the exam paper? I'm going to discuss the exam paper next week in terms of going through the actual paper. I don't want to do that now. I want to discuss it next week. I think next week is our last week of school. Am I correct? I think next week is the last week of school. Let me just, I'm almost sure that's right. Yes, right. Next week is the last week of school. And then we resume in January. Okay. All right, so we will discuss the exam paper next week. And as I said before, there are some persons who don't follow instructions, and you must understand you have to respect the integrity of the exam. You can't do an exam and then you want to send me emails and you want to do your own thing. That's not how exams are administered, all right? when you are given an exam paper, you comply with the exam regulation. If you don't comply with the exam regulation, then you suffer whatever consequences that come thereafter. All right, you can't do an exam and then you're saying that you didn't get a chance to upload and this wasn't working and there was nothing wrong with the system. The only way you were not able to upload is unless you were uploading beyond the time I gave you. I actually did not set the paper for 1 hour. It was, I think, 1.5 hours, if not 2. So there was ample time for persons to do the paper in 1 hour and plus read over, go through your notes, make some corrections, whatever, and then upload. You also went in the exam with a thesis that I told you at 2 topic sentences and even how to start your conclusion. So you went in there with an advantage. All right, so all the persons who did not upload their paper, you're going to work out you have to try to get the marks in other ways. All right, I am not marking any email. Anybody send me any paper, I've deleted all of them because I'm not marking any emails. All right, you have to comply with the exam regulation. Okay, so we now move on from discourse analysis. We spent quite too much time on it. Nonetheless, I felt the need to get you prepared for exam. Now we move on, or we go back now to the whole notion of sentence outline with your broad topic, your narrow topic, your question. Well, I think I did say that by now we should remove your question, and I'm almost sure everybody has their topic sentences plus their supporting evidence or have some version of it. And now all we need to do is just to kind of see, fix it, quote unquote. So today we go back to, or we are going to move to looking at how to develop a sentence outline. We had started it, and then there are some persons who joined the course much later, and they were, I think you guys are working in groups of 3. Am I correct? Groups of 3?
Yes, sir.
Right, working in groups of 3. So you should be able to manage. So there are 3 assignments out of what you're doing. One is going to be the sentence outline, which will have its own individual, actually 4. You get 4 different marks, right? The sentence outline, then you're going to develop what is called a TED Talk from your sentence outline. And then, of course, what is called the expository essay at the end. You get additional marks at the expository. You get additional marks for what are called drafts. All right, so when I say, for example, I want you to upload your first draft of your sentence outline, once you upload it and I go through it, you get marks for that. And when I say, for example, upload the first draft of your documented essay, you get marks for that. All right, if you don't upload, that's on you. Remember, I also said to you that I'll give you marks for all the persons who do the information and literacy course. I'll give you 5 marks, information and literacy course. On Moodle, I'll give you 5 marks once you email me your badge. All right, once I get your badge, you get 5 marks out of the 100 for the course. All right, so just bear those things in mind. So the sentence outline, the TED Talk, the expository essay, those are the 3 major things. And then, of course, the different drafts, the draft of your sentence outline and the draft of your documented essay. Probably you'll have more than 1 draft of the documented essay, and you get marks for that as well. That is how the course is being assessed. I will say this, that if you fail the essay, you fail the course. All right, that's essentially what the course is about: how to write a documented essay or how to write an academic expository essay. That's the essence of the course. So if you are unable to write a documented essay, you're going to struggle. The good thing for you is that you're working in groups of 3. So where you have a difficulty, it means that the other person is supposed to assist you. So you're supposed to have an introduction. At least when we get to the essay part, you should have an introduction, 3 body paragraphs. So each person writes a body paragraph, a conclusion, and you have your reference list. All right. I'm just going to go through the list now, just for my own information, so that I get a sense of who's working with whom and where you are in the process. So I'm sure you remember your original groups, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. So I'm going to go according to my participants list. And just when I call your name, I just want you to tell me who are the other 2 persons you're working with. All right. Anika Maraj.
Good evening, everyone. Shanae, Nugent, and Rowana.
All right. And Rohana. All right, thanks for that. Brittany Smith. With whom are you working? Brittany Smith?
Sir, I'm gonna text in the chat. I can't really talk right now. I'm on the road.
Okay, all right. Yes, you can text in the chat. I'll take the information. And trust me, I don't want to put anybody at risk, especially our women. Shanae Nugent. Oh no, Nugent is working in this group, right? Clovin Daniels. Clovin Daniels. With whom are you working?
Marsha Riley Lamont and Rachel Abraham Stewart.
So Marsha Riley. You said
Lamont,
Lamont and
Rachel Abraham Stewart.
Rochelle Abraham Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay, Abraham Stewart. All right, I have that. Deidreana Brown.
Sir, I'm in group with Leroy and Cheryl, but I think I haven't heard from Cheryl in a long while, so I'm not sure if she's still a part of
The course. All right, so if we don't hear, right. Have you seen her at class? Even if you haven't heard from her, have you seen her at class? No, not seeing her
No,
at
sir.
class?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Not seeing her. She probably is not doing the course, or I don't know. Students have all kinds of things sometimes working on. All right, Donette Ramsey. Talk to me, who you're working with.
Sir, I'm working with Dave, and I can't remember the other girl's name. I'm gonna do a check on and send your name in the chat, sir.
Okay, all right, no problems. Felicia Watson, go ahead.
Abigail and Katie and Dixon.
So Abigail and Katie and Dixon. So this is Felicia Watson. Let's say 7. This is Kanaya Anderson. With whom are you working? Kanaya Anderson.
Sir, if she's unable to speak, good evening, everyone. And I am working with Kanaya Anderson and also Norman.
Sir, I'm on the phone, so I will text him.
I don't remember Norman last name. Kanaya, I got your back.
All right, Norman, I think it's Toyloy.
Yes, but not really sure what's happening to him because he haven't been active in quite some while. I tried calling him straight, which I got through to him. But I think he said that he was having some issues, so I'm not sure if this time will be better for him. But I will keep in touch with him and then keep in touch with you also.
Has he been at class? Because I don't remember seeing him at class either.
Sir, that's the thing. So
all right, can you tell him to reach out to me as well?
Will do, sir.
Yes, tell him to reach out to me, no matter what the circumstances. Just tell him to talk to me, okay?
Yes, sir.
He's permitted to first send a message identifying himself as Norman Toyloy, and then he can call.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I'm about to leave to go home. I'm still at work. I'm about to leave to go home.
All right, no probs. Thanks for the information. This is Kimani Grant.
So I'm in group with Tevon and Marisha Bailey.
All right, so Tevon and Marisha Bailey.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks for that. Let me draw a line in this because I could have used. I think I have Leroy's name somewhere, yes. And I have Marisha, and I have Marsha. Yes, I have. Oh, but Norman Toyloy is here. Why is he not talking? Norman, are you able to speak?
Yeah, I just logged in, sir.
Okay, we were wondering if everything was okay.
Oh, okay.
Are you good?
Well, I'm still at work, but I'm on.
Okay, all right, good. I think I've called the name. Samantha Smith. I don't remember calling her name or anyone calling her name. Samantha Smith?
Yes, sir.
With whom are you working? Go ahead.
Santana Davis and Kevon Bailey.
So Santana Davis and who?
Kevon Bailey.
Oh yes, Kevon is a soldier, right?
Yes, sir.
Sasha Gay Smith Lee. I don't remember calling her name or anyone calling your name.
Ricardo, Casanova, and I think Cadian.
All right, so Ricardo, Casanova, and Cadian. What's Cadian's last name? Because I think there's a Cadian Dixon. So what's the other who's the other Cadian?
I am not sure.
All right, so we probably will get that in a Gay Smithley. Shanika Thompson. I don't remember calling Shanika's name.
Sir, I'm with Sharian and Taji.
Hold on. Have I not written that down? Taji. Oh no, lie. So it's T-A Taji Green, I think.
Yes.
Whose name I called a while ago? Because I wrote on there. So it's Taji Green. Who are the other two persons?
Myself, Shanika Thompson, and Sharian.
So Shanika Thompson and Sharian Bartley. Am I correct?
Sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't remember calling Shannon Melbourne. Shannon Melbourne? Shannon Melbourne?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I'm
With whom are
working
you?
with Tanisha Gale, Antonia and Townsend.
Tanisha Gale, Antonia and Townsend.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Shannon Melbourne. I have a good bridging named Shannon. Every time I hear you see your name. Okay. All right. So I think Brittany is giving me something in the chat. All right. This is Brittany Smith. Let me just write this down. Dahlia Walker. And another young lady by the name of Alia. I think I know that name, Alia. All right, is there anyone who did not hear his or her name?
Sir Cheyenne Masters, I did not hear my name.
With whom are you working, Miss Masters?
I'm working with Chantel Miller, and it should be Gillian, but we're not hearing anything from her. And I don't see her in any class, so I'm not sure if she's still coming to school.
Student, right, she's probably still not coming to school, so probably you two might have to just do it on your own. All right, outside of Miss Masters, is there anybody else?
Sir, I just joined.
Yeah, I think they called your name. You are Abraham Stewart. You are working with Marsha and Clovis Daniels. They did call your name.
Okay.
All right, anybody else? All right, so the other thing I'm now going to do now is to just go through and just remind me about your broad topic and your narrow topic and your thesis. Let's start there because a lot of the work has already been done. You started a lot of the heavy lifting. Tonight, I think what I will do is I'm wondering, should I teach you in-text citation, then teach you to write the introduction, or teach you the other way? So I'm going to teach you one of two things, how to do either in-text citation first, and then teach you how to write your introduction so that by next week you have an introduction. I'll probably teach you how to write the introduction first because you kind of know how to paraphrase already. I'll probably get the chance to teach you both things. Yes?
Is there a way to do block text? Is there a proper way to do block text citation? Is that the term?
So when I go through the lecture, you will be able just ask the question at that time because your question might be answered. Okay?
Okay, sir.
All right, no problems. All right, so now I'm going to go back through the groups now and ask you your broad topic, narrow topic, and your thesis. Just remind me. So if you need to kind of look for the document or bring it up somewhere or whatever it is, if you can share screen, no problems, but don't take forever to share screen. And I'll just quickly look at it, make my comments, and we move on. All right. So we can use probably the next half hour to do all of that, and then they use the last hour for lecture. And because I want you to upload your first draft of your sentence outline by by Sunday. All right, Rashidia Smith, go ahead.
Yeah, just give me some time as it relates to your request. Just now I'm on my way home and I'm using my phone.
Okay, all right, no, or if you can verbalize it, no probs. So if you remember it, you can verbalize it, no problem. You don't necessarily have to
I
share screen.
think our topic was burnout among security officers in the US.
No, but you can't think though. I want you to give me specifics so that I can
Sir,
address
I'll
it.
be home in the next couple of minutes, so give me a few.
Okay, no problems. All right. So Amnika, Shireen, Nugent, and Rohana, can you talk to us? Are you able to share a screen or anything?
Can tell, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, the broad topic is gender and sexuality, and the narrow topic is problems faced by lesbian, gays, and bisexual and transgender members in Jamaica.
So it's the LGBT.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so problems faced by, don't say LGBT, don't give me that long word. So go again, problems faced by?
Problems faced by LGBT members in Jamaica.
Problems faced by LGBT members. And what's your thesis?
Sir, the thesis is problem faced by LGBT members in Jamaica are deprivation. What the is this?
All right, so you need to work it out.
Deprivation of basic human rights, violence, and discrimination.
All right, I think you guys need to look back at that thing, because if it is that you can't pronounce the word, something might be wrong. Okay?
Sir, would you like for me to go over again? Problems faced by LGBTS members in Jamaica are deprivation.
Hold on. I heard LGBTS.
No, sir. Problems faced by LGBT members in Jamaica are deprivation of basic human rights, violence, and discrimination.
Okay, all right. So one of these days you need to share screen, all right? Brittany, Delia, and Alea. I think Alea, your last name is Williams. Let me hear broad topic, narrow topic, and thesis quickly.
Sir, I won't be able to share screen, but I can actually mobilize it. Hold on.
Are you still on the road?
Yes, I am still on the road. I'm on the.
So what? Alea, hold on. Alea Williams, can you talk? Because you're not. Brittany is not the only one in the group. Alea Williams, I'm seeing you on the platform. Are you able to talk? I don't know if Delia is here. No, I don't see a Delia.
Sorry, it's the first time knowing that me and Brittany is in a group. Oh my God.
Oh, you were not in a group, so it's probably not you then. All right, so she doesn't know. So let me take her name off this thing. Brittany, when you reach home, just let me know, okay? And don't talk on the road. All right, Clovis Daniels, Marsha Riley, Lamont, Rochelle, Abraham, Stewart, talk to me. Broad topic, narrow topic, thesis.
Give me 1 second, sir. I don't have the broad topic, narrow topic, because I had edited it since then when we developed the research question and so forth. Hold on, let me see if I can share. What am I not doing right? Let me read it, sir, because I can't find the icon to. Oh, see it here. Hold on. Share. Let me go back up. All right, the research question is what are
Hold on. Let me read it for myself, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Let me close my mic.
Okay, good. Stop sharing for me.
Okay, sir.
All right, Deidrean, Brown, Leroy, Cheryl, go ahead for me.
Okay, sir. So it's just Leroy and Adrian. As I said, haven't heard from Shirley in a long while, so I'm just gonna go ahead and share screen.
Go ahead. We're waiting. All right, don't read. Let me just do the reading quickly so I can go through it very quickly. Reasons for workplace safety. Reasons for workplace safety. All right, let's work with it for now. Stop sharing for me. Done it. And Dave, done it, Ramsey. Dave Simpson. I think Dave, his last name is Simpson. I taught him before.
Okay, sir. So our broad topic is workplace politics. And our topic, impacts of romantic relationship in the workplace. And our thesis is impacting productivity, create ethical issues, and creating toxic work environment are some of the ways in which romantic relationship impacts the workplace.
All right, somewhat okay. I think the first part needs a little fixing, but you're on your way, so we can fix that as we progress. All right, thanks for that. Felicia Watson, Abigail, Katie, and Dixon, go ahead for me. I think Miss Watson said she was stepping away for a minute. I think I remember hearing her say that. I'm not seeing Abigail on the platform. And is Katie and Dixon here? I see the letter K, but it's not Kadian. So I don't think they are here. Abigail is always late for my class, like 1 hour late. All right. Kanaya Anderson, Rasidia Smith, Norman Toyloy, can you share?
Yes, sir. Give me a minute.
I don't have a minute. I have a few seconds.
Oh, okay. I'll try to cut it down then, sir. Share screen. Share. You're seeing it, sir?
Yes. So don't read. Let me read.
Okay, sir.
Just for the how to manage burnout among single faces. I would change the word enrolling to practicing. So, and practicing healthy lifestyle. No, oh, and enrolling. And oh, I see what you say, enrolling. Yeah, enrolling in healthy lifestyle. I don't know if that word is the right word. All right, let's work with it for now. I think eventually you might need to change that word, okay? I think Rasidia says she's home. Are you able to share screen now? Rasidia, go ahead.
Sir, Norman is in my group, sir.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So we covered that base already. All right. Kimani, Grant, Tevon, Marisha, go ahead. All right. Business and technology. Benefits of implementing lending software. Oh, yeah, I remember this paper. Reducing calculation errors, faster processing time. All right, so the second subclaim doesn't have a continuous verb. The first one is reducing. What is the second one? So the first one is reducing. The third one is optimizing, but the second one doesn't have a continuous verb. All right. So
Yes, sir,
there's
we'll
need.
fix that.
Okay. So there's need for continuous verbs there.
Okay.
All right. Samantha Smith, Santana, Kevon, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Give me a minute. Share the screen.
Yes.
When ready. Ooh. You're seeing it, sir?
Yes, it just came up. All right. So problem space strategy, members in Jamaica experience abuse access. All right. So the first one is stated as a problem, but the second and the third subclaim are not stated as problems. So experiencing physical abuse, that's a problem. But accessing the public, if you had said no, so experiencing physical abuse, probably facing roadblocks, accessing public health care, not roadblocks, but something, but the second two are not stated as problems, okay?
Okay, sir, thanks.
All right, so it needs to be fixed. Thank you very much.
Right.
I've seen that. Ricardo, Kadian, Sasha Gay Smith Lee, go ahead.
Okay, sir, I'll be sharing, but it's just to. Oh, the share something.
The share is in the center of your Zoom.
It was just me and Ricardo working, so it's just 2, but then Kadian was added.
Is this the same Kadian who was saying that she's not? No. What's Kadian's last name? Because I have one Kadian already. All right. So, what are the benefits of solar energy? Reducing electricity bill and lowering greenhouse gas emissions are some benefits of. All right. So, if there's a third person, of course, you have to have a third subclaim, right?
Yes.
Okay. No problems.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you very much. Tajay, Shanika, Sherian, go ahead. As Sasha Gay Smith, stop sharing screen. Thank you. All right, go ahead for me. Tajay, Shanika, Sherian. All right, rules of compliance regulation. Can you reduce the size for me, please? Yes, thanks. Reduce. Yes, that's okay. All right, rules of compliance regulation within the banking sector, making sure that banks adhere to internal control. I've always said that this one is so long. Right, Sherian? I've always said that this one is so long. You just have to find a way to make it shorter, but we'll work with it. Thanks.
The third subclaim, sir.
I mean, generally your thesis is kind of long, but let's work with it for now. Over time you'll refine it.
All right, sir. I'll work on it.
Yeah, man, you can refine it over time. Shannon, Tanisha, Tonian. So yes, Shannon, Tanisha, Tonian, go ahead.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so how nutrition education can reduce obesity? So providing healthier eating habits, promoting, because I was just about to say promoting, building skills and healthy dietary behavior, and restricting sugar sweetened beverages are several ways in nutrition education. Promoting healthier eating habits, that I get because it's nutrition education, right? Building skills and enhance healthy dietary behaviors. My question is, how is the first subclaim and the second subclaim different? So promoting healthier eating habits versus enhance healthy dietary behavior. How is that different? That's my question. And restricting sugar sweetened beverages. That's what I'm not sure about. Can somebody respond? How is it different? All right, nobody's responding. Okay, so that's something you need to work out, okay? Seeing that I'm putting you on the spot and you need to work it out. All right, thanks. Miss Masters, and is this Chantel Miller?
Yes, sir, Chantel Miller. Go and share because I don't think she's here as yet.
Okay.
Seeing it now, sir?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, so the benefits of whistleblowing in all right, I'll work with it for now. I'm sure you'll refine it as you go along. All right, stop sharing for me, unmute your mic. All right, so Alia Williams, go ahead. I see your hand is up.
Right, so you mentioned my name, but I never worked with her before. I used to work with Sanjay Blair and Janice Wees.
And Janice who?
Wees. I don't know if she's here, and Sanjay is not here again. I don't see year.
Okay, all right. I'm not sure who do you know, do you have a copy of what you guys were working on?
Yes, I do.
All right, share screen for me. All right, so the thesis needs revision because, so you said the effects of social media are the absence of communication that I can see, but I'm not sure what the second subclaim, the psychological well-being of the children, unclear, to have seeking surface level attention, again, is unclear. All right, so the thesis needs revision, especially as it relates to the second and third subclaim. All right, Ms. Williams?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Stop sharing for me. So going forward in the course, this is what we're focusing on. We're going to build out, lower your hand for me, Ms. Williams. We're going to build out the outline, and then the outline will be converted into a TED Talk, and the outline will be converted into a documented essay. All right, so that's the focus. Today, I'm going to do one of two things. I'm wondering which one I should do first. Either show you how to do in-text citation or how to, I think I'm going to start with how to write an introduction. I think that's where I'm going to start because parts of it, okay, where is my, so I'm going to start with how to write an introduction because I'd love to see a draft of your introduction on Tuesday. All right, so writing an introduction. So an introduction really has three parts: opening, background, thesis. Everybody has, in other words, almost everyone has the last sentence of their introduction. Almost everyone has the last sentence of their introduction. So how to begin an introduction? You can begin with direct quote, direct quotation, brief statistics, a definition, a famous quote, a startling statement, a comparison. You now know what comparison means. A contrast. You now know what contrast means. A factual statement. All right, something that is true and known to be true. And these are some examples of how to start an introduction. This is the opening. Over the last decade, Jamaica has welcomed more than 20 international businesses. Based on this start, what do you think the paper is about? What do you think the paper is about? Over the last decade, Jamaica has welcomed more than 20 international businesses. Let's speculate. What do you think the paper is about?
Economic growth.
Could be. Any other guess?
Foreign investment in Jamaica.
Could be
in the
looking at
Jamaican economy.
Right, so we could be looking at the impact of international businesses on the Jamaican economy, right? Could be looking at that. How has the writer started this introduction? Based on the list I just gave you, let's put this in the, so let's put this in the chat, not in the chat, in the WhatsApp group so that it's easier to, or hold on, let me stop share. Let's put this in the WhatsApp group first. Can somebody say hi in the WhatsApp group? You know, my hi thing, I don't remember. Don't know who the hell is calling me. Work is always calling me, why? All right, so there I, let's see. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so let me, are you seeing it in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So remember now, those are the ways of how you can start. All right. Let's look at the second one. Diabetes is the leading cause of death among children in the Caribbean. What do you think the paper is about based on that start?
Sir, diabetes.
Paper could be about diabetes. What could it be looking? What could the paper be talking about in relation to diabetes?
Miss, sorry, it can be excess of eating.
All right, so probably how obesity affects children, right? Or something like that.
Okay.
All right, let's ignore the third one and look at the second one, the fourth one rather. Until recently, everything written about Indian women in the Caribbean was written by men. What do you think the paper is about or will be about?
Indian women in the Caribbean.
Indian women in the Caribbean. What about Indian women in the Caribbean?
Could it be the way they dress, their hair, you know, the
Remember, it's an
physical
academic
feature?
paper.
Could it be-
Remember, it's just like telling me the narrow topic, okay? Let's move on. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make food. What could this paper be about?
How plants intake food, or how plants.
Sir, it can be about the importance of plants.
All right, so the benefits of agriculture or something like that, the benefits of agriculture to Caribbean development or something like that. The last one that we're going to look at is until recently, men never considered their body image. What could be the paper? What could this paper be about?
Could
And
it
I
be
must
about
talk.
men and their physical insecurities?
All right, so it could be about men and their physical image or their body image, right? Right, people?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I wonder if esteem has anything to do with it, sir.
If what?
Esteem, self-esteem.
Could be. All right, what I want you to tell me in number for the first opening, how has the writer started? Is it direct quote, brief statistics, a definition, a startling statement, a comparison, a contrast, a factual statement?
Sir, I feel like it was a brief statistics or a factual statement.
So it is statistics because we see 20.
Yes, sir. So it gives us a number.
It gives us a number. So normally numbers indicate statistics. What about the second one? Diabetes is the leading cause of death among children in the Caribbean.
Sir, a factual statement.
Factual statement, yes. What about the fourth one? Until recently, everything written about Indian women in the Caribbean was written by men.
An opinion.
It could be. I heard opinion.
Sir, a direct quote? No, it would be a quote, not a quote.
Can't be a quote because it don't see the quotation marks. It's really irony. I'm not sure if you saw that it's irony. Everything written about Indian women in the Caribbean was written by men. You don't see the irony?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's really irony. What about the one that begins with photosynthesis?
Factual statement.
No, it's not a factual statement. It's a factual statement, but it's definition. The writer starts off with definition. What about until recently, men never considered their body image? Which start is that?
That could be an opinion.
So that's a startling statement. Startling means that it's surprising, you know, that kind of thing. All right, so those are ways of how you can,
Sure.
yes?
Sure. Sorry, excuse me, question. How would you know the startling statement different from the opinion?
Well, opinion can be every and anything, but in the case of this, because it says until recently, men never considered their body image, it means that this is something that is trending, that is surprising, you know, so that's how you would consider it to be startling. So if, for example, you write, I don't like apples, that's an opinion, but that's not startling. I don't like apples because they taste, apples taste bad. That's an opinion, but it's not startling. Understand?
Okay, sir.
Yes. All right. So the first thing I want you to do, and this is just I want you to do, is just to write. Let me see the first sentence of your introduction based on the focus of your paper. Let me just see what you would write. I'm going to give you 5 minutes or so. No group, working on the same paper, but let me see what you would produce in terms of an opening. And then you're going to kind of justify, if you say you're going to start with fact, opinion, if you're going to start with a startling statement, a definition, and then to some extent kind of justify to me why you have decided to start that way. All right, so I'm going to, you can put how you start in the chat. All right, you can put how you intend to start in the chat. You don't need to correspond with the persons who are in your group. Just write how you would start the paper. All right, everybody understands?
So we will start the paper in the chat and not.
I am just saying, can you just write an example of your how you would start your introduction, and it would be, if you can share screen, that's okay, or if you want to put it in the chat. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. 10 minutes. Rashida, you must post your thing publicly, no private message, okay? Public. All right, so I see persons are attempting, and I'm happy that persons are trying to start, and I've responded to a lot of them. Most of them are very weak, very, very weak. I've commented on the ones that are weak. I think the one that I liked was not properly referenced, and I did ask the person if this is a diary quote and that it be properly cited. I think it came from Miss Masters. Not Norman, what's his name? Kimani, if I were you, lending software is not something that is commonly known. So I would start out with trying to define lending software for the reader. I would not start out with this big statement about lending software because it is not something that is known per se. So probably a definition might be better for you before you get into all of the other things. All right.
I was actually trying to implement. I'll research more on it.
Yeah, you need to get a sourced definition. Mute your mics, please, so we don't hear all the festivities in the background. Shannon, is this a direct quote? Is it a direct quote?
Yes, sir.
A direct quote should not be over 40 words. How many words are in this direct quote? Tonian, you can't start out with a definition of obesity. It's a given. We already know the definition of obesity. That's a very weak way of starting. Rohana, you can't use those words like tragic. Remember, this is an expository essay. Remember, we spoke about diction. So you can't use any word that sounds persuasive or figurative in nature. All right?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Very weak opening, Deidrean. Very, very weak opening. All right. So you're at least you're trying, which is important. All right. So I'm going to expose you to additional information, and then I'm sure over time you will tweak how you start your introduction. So the other part of your introduction, so after you have your opening, so your opening is usually can be 1 or 2 sentences. Then you have your what is called your background sentences. So it says after you have your opening sentence, it is important now to write your 2 to 3 background sentences. These 2 to 3 sentences state the subject, establishes the significance of the subject, and provide a context for the narrowed topic or general focus of the essay. In other words, how some persons organize their introduction is the opening is very broad, speaks to, for example, the broad topic. Then the 2 to 3 background sentences speak to the narrow topic, and then they have the thesis. All right, some persons choose to organize it that way. So 2 to 3 background sentences. Then, and here's an example. So over the last decade, Jamaica has welcomed more than 20 international businesses. This means that the country has the right economic and business environment that is welcoming to these international business. Burger King is one of the international business that has been operating in Jamaica since the 1980s. Providing employment, training staff to use new technology, and paying taxes to the government are some of the ways in which, no, I don't want you to look, I don't want this example. This was really for a different class. Okay, I need to take it out. Need to take it out. Where are my introductions? Where are my introductions? Oh, here's one. Right, so here is one. Here's an introduction. So how to reduce chikungunya in Jamaica. Over 20 million people globally are infected with the chikungunya virus, 8 million of whom live in the Caribbean. This indicates that Caribbean people are vulnerable to this disease, especially in countries such as Jamaica. It is for this reason healthcare professionals in Jamaica are concerned and have suggested ways to reduce the spread of the virus. These ways include spraying bushy areas, using mosquito repellents, and visiting doctor. Can you first of all tell me how does the writer start the introduction?
With statistics,
sir.
With statistics, right?
Statistics.
What do you think is the broad topic? What do you think is the broad topic?
Chikungunya in Jamaica.
Cannot be.
Chikungunya in Jamaica.
Broad topic. Look at the example. Have I ever given you a broad topic in more than 2 words?
Reduction of chikungunya in Jamaica.
Jesus Christ.
Chikungunya
Broad topic. Broad topic. Not narrow topic. The narrow topic is already there.
Chikungunya in the Caribbean.
Chikungunya in Jamaica.
Jesus Christ. No, sir. People, I just said to you that the broad topic cannot be more than 2 words. And I've given you, you just wrote your broad topic, narrow topic question, and you're telling me all kind of madness.
So chikungunya virus.
Could it be
Could it be disease outbreaks?
Thank you. It could be disease outbreaks. Thank you. Anything else? Could it be anything else? Could it be anything else? Let me define this term. Could it be anything else?
Impacts of chikungunya.
Chikungunya impact.
Jesus
Mosquito
Christ.
viruses.
I just said to you that the broad topic can only be 1 or 2 words, and people are still saying other things.
Deadly viruses.
Is chikungunya a virus? Is it caused by a virus? I don't remember chikungunya being caused by a virus. Is it caused by a virus?
So, sir, just switch it around and say chikungunya infections.
The broad topic is not chikungunya infections. Because you see the word chikungunya in the paper, you think the broad, look at the examples. When I gave you about gender issues, did you see LGBT in the broad topic?
Could it be disease control?
Could be disease control.
Sir, it could be.
Sir, Tajay, type in the chat.
Could it be non-communicable diseases?
It could be non-communicable diseases. It could be global infection. What's the term we use? It could be what? Pandemics.
Yes, sir.
It could be pandemics. Why did I ask this question? Because if you look, for example, at the opening would speak to one of what you said as a broad topic, right? Especially when you say, for example, pandemics. So over 20 million people globally are infected with the chikungunya virus, 8 million of whom live in the Caribbean, because the person knows that's what they're going to talk about. So what they have done is to start with the broad or the global thing of chikungunya, and then they zoom in because the paper will be about how to control it in Jamaica. Do you realize that?
Yes, sir.
So the opening is broad, very broad, pandemics, reflecting pandemics, which is the broad topic. And then the person zooms in. Then you have what are called the background sentences. We said 2 to 3 background sentences that speak to the narrow topic, which is reduce. Remember, the narrow topic is what? How to reduce chikungunya in Jamaica. So let's see if the 2 sentences reflect the narrow topic. This indicates that Caribbean people are vulnerable to this disease, especially in countries such as Jamaica. It is for this reason, healthcare professionals in Jamaica are concerned and have suggested ways to reduce the spread of the virus. So do we see that the background sentences speak to the narrow topic? So the opening speaks to the broad, the background speaks to the narrow, and then you end with the thesis. Do we see that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is another way, this is a way of how you can organize your introduction. And I'm going to send you the slide. probably I need to. You want a copy? I'm going to send you the slide, but what did I just do? Hallelujah. Oh, wrong thing. So I'm going to give you a copy of that introduction. No, I kind of have this thing all over the place. All right, here's another example of an introduction. So the theme or the broad topic is child abuse. The narrow topic is child abuse, then and now, measures that have been implemented to reduce it. And this is the introduction. Here's an example of direct quote. It was reported in a study that parents use leather belts as a means of reprimanding their children. Does the opening speak to the theme or the broad topic child abuse? No. Does it?
The theme, child abuse.
The theme, sir.
Yes, the theme is the same thing as a broad topic. All right, so let's look now at the narrow topic now. Let us see the background sentences. This report attests to the fact that child abuse is a social ill that has continued to plague society over centuries. In some instances, relevant authority has done very little to or nothing to implement serious measures to eradicate this grave societal problem. Is it speaking to or providing context for the narrow topic? Based on what we see here as the narrow topic? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Right, and then the last sentence is the thesis. Let me see what's happening in the chat. Okay. All right, let's look at another example. Let me not look at this one. Not all of them I want to look at. This is too long. I don't want you guys to write any long introduction. Okay. Do you think you want to attempt at writing an introduction? No? No, hold on, not yet. Let me expose it to another lecture. Where is it? This is outline. Here it is. No, I don't want to teach that yet. We do that already. We do that already. We did that already. Right, here it is. Let's look at another lecture on writing introductions. All right, so the introduction has what is called an inverted triangle. All right, so you start from broad and general and lead to narrow and specific, which is the thesis. So the general statement, which is the opening, the more narrowed topic, then you have your thesis with your points. So broad, general, which is the opening, 1 to 2 sentences, narrow topic, we said 2 to 3 sentences, and then you end with your thesis with your points, okay? Same thing that I just said. I'm almost sure that there are some examples. What would be good if you know the narrow topic? Okay, so let's look at this introduction. Person starts out, I think, with a direct quote. The World Health Organization purports that health system strengthening is everybody's business. However, over the years, the health services provided at public hospitals in Jamaica has deteriorated. A well-performing health force is one that works in ways that are responsive, fair, and efficient to achieve the best health outcomes possible. There should be sufficient staffing, fairly distributed. They are competent, responsive, and productive. Health service includes all services dealing with diagnosis and treatment of disease, or the promotion, maintenance, and restoration of health. The Jamaican health force is a far cry from being described as good, given the standards established by the World Health Organization. Over the years, the service provided at public hospitals in Jamaica has deteriorated. Some areas included are the overall waiting time, courtesy of staff, and the limited consulted time with doctors. All right, and the parts in red are really the thoughts of the author. This is another example. So here are examples of inadequate introduction. This is so number one is actually an introduction. According to Longman Dictionary, health is a general condition of your body. The health systems in different countries determines how well citizens can cope, and then they have the thesis. Then this one now is too short, doesn't provide enough context. Well, first of all, you can't start with your opening cannot be a question. Your opening sentence cannot be a question. So is health a disease, a condition, or is health a disease, a condition, or based on diet or fitness? According to the International Health Conference, health is a state of blah, 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 and they go on. It's not properly developed. All right, it has not contextualized the issue for the reader. So again, these are just some reinforcement, how to begin your introduction, relevant background information, pertinent statistics, appropriate quotation. You can use analogy. It depends on the nature of what you're doing. Here's an example now of a paper, broad topic, technology and education, narrow topic, computers in Jamaican classroom. Question, how can computers enhance the teaching methodologies in Jamaican schools, secondary schools? Introduction. The Jamaican education system is one which is constantly being revamped in order to produce worthwhile citizens who can contribute meaningfully to economic and social development. With continued worrying trends of less than half of the students who leave secondary schools attaining 4 or more CSEC subjects, there have been consistent calls to address weaknesses such as mode of delivery in the system. Realizing that technology is impacting every facet of society, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and partners such as the Jamaica Computer Society for Education have embarked on ventures such as the e-learning project and the EdTech 2020 project to make computers available to schools and train and encourage teachers to use them to make learning more meaningfully relevant to students. According to Ying, quote, information technology can serve as a catalyst and vehicle for arriving at solutions to important endemic problems in the education system, end quote. The multifaceted computer can be employed to so this is a thesis now. The multifaceted computer can be employed to enhance teaching methodologies in the dynamic secondary classrooms in Jamaica through stimulating innovative and diverse approaches to the delivery of the curricula, aiding in lifelong learning and improving teachers' administrative competence. This, of course, is a student who is very good with the language and, and is able to write much longer sentences, and introduction is a bit longer. All right, but it's a good introduction. It's very important, as I said before, you provide context. There are other examples of introduction, but I don't have the energy to read all of them. Let me do this first. Let me email this thing. What is this I see here? Do we think we can attempt an introduction? It doesn't need to be perfect, just an attempt. Doesn't need to be perfect.
When do you need that? Next class?
No, you're attempting it tonight. I'll give you 15 minutes. You write something. I get to see whether it's good or bad. What I'm looking for is the skill. It's not graded. It's like a rough draft of your introduction. So student advisory, writing an introduction. Come on. So let's just speak for thesis outline. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, to my students, all common students. All right, I sent you an email. Do you think you can try to write an introduction tonight? I know it's a mammoth task, but I think you are able to do it. No one is responding. Think you can write your introduction?
Oh, yes, sir. I thought it, yes, sir.
All right, let me put you in the breakout room so that you can at least work together as, this is my challenge. Okay, I kind of have an idea now how many breakout rooms I actually need.
But sir, isn't it an introduction for our assignment?
Yes, it
Take your
is.
fruit of is in breakout rooms. Wouldn't be random persons. It'll be different.
No man,
different
I'm going
stuff.
to. No man, I now know who is in what room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to assign the persons. So I know, for example, that Leroy is working with Dejan Brown and Cheryl. Dejan Brown. Is Cheryl in the class? Not seeing.
No, sir.
No, I'm not seeing Cheryl. And I know, for example, that Sasha Gay Smith, Lee, who you working with again, Sasha? Because I must skip. Ricardo
Sir,
Casanova.
I don't know if any of them are in the class. You know.
Oh, none of them are in the class. So you're on your own tonight, eh? All right, so Anika Mirage, you are working with Shereen Nugent and Rohana, because I have it right here. All right, so go in the breakout room and start writing your introduction. I know Tanisha Gale is working with, Tanisha, can you remind me? I have to search for it in this book. Tanisha, T.
Shannon and Coach.
Right, so Shannon and where's Shannon? Shannon and Tonian, right? Yes, so room 5. I know Kimani is working with, who are you working with again, Kimani? Where's Kimani's name in my book?
So Tevon and Marisha.
Tevon. And Larisha?
Marisha.
Yes, and Marisha. And Tajay Green is working with
Shanika Thompson and Sherry Ann Bartley.
Bartley and Thompson.
Yes, sir.
All right. Riley Lamont, you are working with Clovin and where's Clovin? Because I know I saw him. Clovin and Marsha, no, Abraham Stewart. Abraham Stewart, I'm sure I saw her earlier. Abraham Stewart is here. I think she was here earlier. All right, not seeing her.
Sir, good night. I just got home. I'm not seeing neither of my group members online.
Oh, okay. All right. So Alia Williams, you said you were working with whom again?
Janice Lees and Sandra Blair. I don't know.
Are they here?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Felisa Watson, are you there? Not seeing Felicia Watson. All right. Donnet is working with Dave. Samantha Smith, who you're working with again?
Santana Davis and Kevon Bailey.
I don't think I see Kevon. Katie and Dixon, with whom are you working again?
Felicia and Abigail.
All right. Felicia and Abigail. I don't think I see Felicia in the class. Katie and Murray, with whom are you working? I think this is where, oh, she's supposed to.
Ricardo and Sasha Gay.
Right. Yeah, so you're supposed to be in room 2. Right. Norman Toyloy, with whom are you working again?
Rashida.
And who else? No, I have it in my book here. Let me just check my book.
Sorry, Kenaya Anderson.
Kenaya Anderson. Well, I don't see Kanaya. I think she was here earlier. Tony and Townsend, with whom are you working?
Sorry, you can add me to room 4, please. I'm using 2 devices. That's the reason why. So the one that you had, I'm not able to speak from that one.
So in room 4.
Yes, with Shannon and Tanisha.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Masters, with whom are you working again?
So I'm not seeing Chantel or Gillian in class, so it's me alone.
All right. Brittany Smith, with whom are you working?
I'm not seeing Delia work online. It's just me alone, sir.
All right. Aliyah Williams, with whom are you working?
Sorry, wait, Janice Louise and Sandra Blair. I'm not seeing none of those two.
I think Weeze was on a while ago and I don't know what happened to her. All right, so just do what you can on your own, okay?
Okay.
All right. Remember to check the email because I sent the example.
Yeah, I saw it. That's fine.
Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, sir, but I got kicked off at class about 6 o'clock. Can you tell me what you had asked us to do, please?
Which group? Let me just find the name so I can put you in the breakout room. You're working with Adrian. Breakout room. You are supposed to be in room 1, but you haven't gone into room 1.
Yes, sir. I went in there and I asked her. She said her internet was giving trouble, so she didn't hear.
You're writing an example of an introduction.
Okay.
Check your email. Are you able to go back in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, who wants to go first? Let me see what you have for your introduction. Room 1, want to go first, or Shannon Melbourne, you want to go first?
Okay.
You have to put your broad topic and narrow topic, because when
Okay, so I'm gonna fix it. Let Shannon go first.
hold on, is the second sentence is your thesis?
The second
Is the second sentence your thesis?
no, sir. It's just sir.
Where's the thesis?
Sir, we didn't get to finish, so this is just part of the work.
All right, so it's incomplete, so I can't look at it. And if I were you, I would use statistics, all right, based on the area that you're looking at in terms of workplace safety, and you're looking at accidents and all of that.
Okay.
All right.
Sir, so what you said, change everything, right?
I'm saying the opening is weak, because if you're what's your narrow topic again? Remind me of your narrow topic.
Preventing industrial accidents in manufacturing companies.
Right, so you probably want to start out with some kind of statistical information about the number of accidents that happen or something like that. All right.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Room 2, Kadian, Sasha Gay. Anything to share?
Kadian, you can share, please.
Just a minute.
We don't have a minute. We have a few seconds.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
All right, so benefits of solar. So
you're reading? Are you stop, or am I to go?
it's okay, I'm reading.
Okay.
Why is there a space in the introduction? Why is there space? I don't understand. The thesis is a part of the introduction, so it should not be in a different line.
Sorry, sir. I wasn't finished with what I was doing. We're rushing, trying to get the introduction.
And this introduction looks very short. I don't know that, because the opening, Luton. So Luton should be in the bracket as well.
Okay.
Comma. And you need the page number because it's direct quote.
It is actually from a website.
Then you need the paragraph number.
Okay. So I'm getting that done. So, but sir, we're not finished, you know.
Benefits of solar energy too. All right, so this introduction needs work, okay?
Okay, sir, noted.
All right, room 3, Rohana, can share screen?
Anika, share screen.
All right, poor start. I don't like the start, and you're rushing. You're rushing. I wouldn't start it this way. Problem faced by LGBT members, and I wouldn't start this way. I think you are rushing to get to the thesis, and you're not setting up the background as properly as you should. The opening is weak, so if something like this, you probably want to start out with saying over 20%. I'm just making this thing up. This is not factual, but over 20% of LGBT members face discrimination, or like of the over 50% of LGBT members who face problems in the world, 20% of them live in the Caribbean. These problems include, this is especially the case in Jamaica. LGBT members face several problems in Jamaica, including something like that. Yeah, I think you're struggling in terms of how to start, all right? You probably need to rewatch the tape and listen to how I kind of fret. Yeah. All right, room 4. Let me see what you have. Stop sharing screen for me. Room 4. Shannon, Tanisha, Tonian, who's going to share? All right. All right, so remove the full stop at obese, outside of the obese. All right, so the issue I'm having though is that the paper does not start out with the notion of health education, but the thesis ends with it. So I would have, the first time I'm hearing health education, not health education, nutrition education is in the thesis. It needs to be introduced before. So you start out with obesity, but I think this start is really should be a part of the background. I think the way how you have started it, it should be a part of the background and not the start, because the broad topic is health education. So you need something that speaks to that. And then you probably say something like, in the absence of health education, there are health issues. These health issues include obesity, and then you can quote, obesity has reached epidemic proportions. I think that's how you need to do it, because when I get to the thesis, I'm hearing nutrition education for the first time. All right, so I would not start the way it's actually a relatively good introduction. It's just that it needs some fixing. All right. Tajay Green, go ahead for me. So your hand is raised. Tajay Green, go ahead for me. Your hand is raised.
Sir, he's typing in the chat.
All right, while he's doing that, room 5, Kimani, Marisha, Tevon. Let's see if we can at least get one in. The opening is a fragment. Lending software, it is a piece of technology. You don't see that? That's not a complete thought. And if it is a direct quote, ensure that you properly cite it, because Turnitin will pick it up if you're, because I will give you 0 for your essay if you're plagiarizing. You will learn that I don't miss anything. It's a piece of that alone. You can't use personal pronouns, so you don't use we and us and our, and you don't use those pronouns. That allows your business. That allows a business. I think this introduction is too long. I'm seeing capital letters in the middle of the thesis, along with improving without advanced loans. Your team, it needs fixing, especially the register. The register is very informal with the constant use of you and your, the second person pronoun. All right, the opening is not bad in terms of trying to give a definition, but I think what should have come after the definition is a kind of building up. Like, so lending software is a piece of technology, This means that, or something like, this particular software is used in many sectors, especially is used by many businesses, especially in the financial sector. Something like that, but it needs some fixing. I think you're trying to put too much, not remembering that it is an introduction. It's not a body paragraph, and you're introducing the ideas. All right?
Noted, sir.
Yes. Tajay, just watch the recording. I can't go over it now. The time is up. We're after a minute, okay? So I'm going to ensure that I upload the recording. So everybody each group should come with your, at least a better version of your introduction to share with the class, okay? I'm going to ensure I upload this recording so that you can watch and you can watch and listen and just do as much fixing as is possible. And then I'll show you some examples of good introductions. All right. Have a good night, everybody. I'm sure you have a class that you're late for.
Good night.